Good morning, y'all. We're doing our picks down here in St. Louis. Got my pallet jack with me this time around. My other pallet jack, one of my two. Was gonna put the electric one on the trailer, but I didn't know how that was gonna do with the being cold all the time, so I just run the manual one. But we got our first pick for today. I believe it's like 4 pallets, and then we'll move on to the next. We got 4 picks total, and we take these up to Indiana, so we'll see how this goes. All right, we finished with our next stop over here at Antler Trucking, and they got some nice rigs over here. Look at that. They like their Freightliners, that's for sure. They definitely like their Freightliners. And they got one sitting on the back corner back there, but you can't see it. So, on to the next one. Stop number 3. Truck's not straight, but the trailer is definitely straight. It's in there straight. At least as straight as I can possibly get it. Yeah, it's in there pretty straight, but not a lot of room to work with, especially with this big curb right here. So, not a lot of pull-up room, not a lot of workout room. Realistically, instead of coming in this way and then having to do that, I should have came in this way and circled around and then pulled back up and backed in, and it would have been a little bit easier because I would have been where I would have been at without having to inch my way back to get around this corner. But it is what it is. We still got it in there either way it goes, so they should load us up pretty quick. I told them to pinwheel pretty much all of it. We got one more stop to pick up, and I don't know how much we're getting there, so told them to pinwheel it so we can get it all on. We're loaded. Didn't take them long at all, and we still got quite a bit of space, which is perfect. They loaded it exactly the way I wanted them to. So that makes everything easy for the last stop we got. Just in case they got quite a bit, they should be able to fit all of it. And I should be able to keep my weight down on my drive axles with the way I loaded it, because I have one single in the trailer. So I got double, just regulars, not pinwheeled, a single, and then a double, and then the rest after that are pinwheeled. So we're definitely heavy on the drives, but not as heavy as I would be. Heavier than I like it to be, I guess, more or less I should say. Because I like to keep my drives around 60 PSI range or lower. I don't like it really being higher than that. And we're right under 70. I think. Once I stop here, I'll be able to tell you for sure. Yeah, we're right under 70. We're probably about like 77 pounds. 76, 77 pounds. And the airbags on the drives, so still within legal weight. I guess we can go over everything that I did while I was at home for the like 14 hours I was at home. We took that rack down out of the trailer that was broke off the wall. I took that off the wall, so I built myself a little bit of a, I don't know what I would really call it. I pretty much screwed 3 pieces of 2x4s on top of each other. I screwed them together, set them on the floor, and that's what my load locks are sitting on, and up, and then they're touching the roof, tight to the roof, because they're not long enough to go from the floor to the roof. So I did that, which I'll show you guys that at some point so you actually know what I'm talking about. So we took that off. I got my pallet jack in the trailer now. Did that yesterday. What else did I get done? I changed out the lights that needed to be changed out. This turn's going to be kind of a headache. Pretty much checked over everything otherwise. And that's pretty much it that I can think of that I did. Can't think of really anything else I did. Oh, I did hook it to my drive-in. Moved it around a little bit, aired it up. I didn't get a chance to check the lights on it, but I just wanted to make sure, you know, it's still good to go, move it around so it's just not sitting in the same spot. And because it's sitting on dirt, so, because you know my lot's dirt / gravel, so sitting in the same spot all the time is going to end up starting to sink in the ground. That's bad for the tires, so moved it around from one spot to the next, and aired it all the way up, and it's still perfectly fine, which I really don't expect anything otherwise, with it only been sitting for like, I think, 2-3 months total. So that's all good to go. And as far as I could tell, everything on the truck and trailer were good to go. I still got a little while before my oil change is due, which when I get back home after this round, I'm gonna do my oil change on the truck, service the reefer unit, service the trailer also, grease the trailer up, all that good shit, which I actually might grease the trailer up probably tonight because I got my grease gun with me. But yeah, other than that, I pretty much got everything done that I wanted to get done. Besides, I didn't put my lights back on the bumper. I don't know if I mentioned this and why I took them off. I was having problems with the what do you call them, nut zerks that I put in the bumper to screw the bracket to. They kept coming loose and falling out the bumper. So, and I kept fixing them and they kept coming loose. So I'm going to figure out a different situation for that. Probably end up actually riveting them to the bumper, but I'm going to wait till I get my new bumper to put them back on, and I'll rivet the brackets to the trailer. I'll rivet the brackets brackets to the bumper, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. So those brackets and lights are actually still in my side box. I forgot to take them out and set them on my toolbox, but that's fine. But other than that, the only other issue that I ran into this morning is I got a light flicker issue on the trailer when I turn tight. And it's because my 7-pin, I found out that my 7-pin that my lights are connected to, there's a pin that's broken in there. So what I'm going to do is, since technically my other 7-pin connector that I use for my lift axle and dump axle, it only uses 2 pins out of the whole 7 pins. So I'm going to move that 7 pin, since it's pretty much practically brand new, over to my light side and use the one that's broken and move it to the other side and still continue to use the same 2 pins, because the 2 pins that I use for my lift and dump axle aren't broken on that one. So I'll still have a fresh 7 pin and everything else will still work. Besides my lift axle, I don't know, it's acting up. I believe it's a wiring issue, because when that panel got bent, I believe it cut one of my wires. I just didn't have time to really look at it too much while I was at home. I'm not really too worried about it. That was like the least of my worries to get done. That was like the very last thing on my priority list to look at. But yeah, other than that, pretty much got the truck and trailer all good and ready to go. It needs a wash still. I think I'm going to wash it tonight when I get back into Indiana. And we went shopping. I went grocery shopping, got some more water, another case of water. So I got like a case and a half of water in here, and some other stuff just to keep me from buying stuff at the truck stop and spending high money when I can, you know, just spend money once at the grocery store and it'll last me probably until I get back home. Because I got quite a bit of stuff and I really didn't spend that much money. But I got a lot of like granola bars and stuff like that, stuff to keep me from eating unhealthy stuff all the time. Even though, you know, granola bars aren't the healthiest thing in the world, but, you know, it's better than most of the things you can get. So, but we got 40 minutes till we get to our next spot, and then we'll be headed on into Indiana, so we can unload tomorrow morning, reload tomorrow morning, and head to our first stop. Yes sir, last stop of the day. Definitely gonna get some pictures here, because that's one heck of a backdrop. ending out in Texas. But first stop is over in Illinois. About 4 hours south in a sense. Really southwest-ish. I done been to this place all the time. It's a Walmart. I done used to go to that place all the time. So, know where we're going, know what we're doing. It's time to hit the road. So I can get some more editing done. Because at this point in time where you guys are watching this, pretty much like the last couple videos, probably before this one, depending on how I do it, all of that stuff's not edited right now. I am so behind, it is unreal. But it is what it is. Look like we're gonna get some rain too. I'd like to get this truck washed up at some point, but everywhere I've been going has been rain, rain, rain. It ain't been washed in weeks. And that's just not me, but I'm not gonna spend money on a wash